Hi, welcome to Notes from Lusha Sang. Beetroot. Delish. I just wanted to show you this little sunflower. It's just popped out. A lovely friend here in France. We stayed at their gîte when we were looking for houses and when we were first buying this house. And Manfred and Marianne have been really good friends. And Marianne brought a lovely sunflower over early on in the year, and it's just flowering now. Having a basic tidy round. The sedum has been full of bees, but I think they've moved on to the ivy flowers now. So lots of veg, and I've got a fantastic crop of basil. I'll show you that. Oh, I wish I had smell-o-vision. This is beautiful. It's just starting to flower now, so I need to pick it, and I want to get it into oil. So we'll have basil oil all winter and all into spring. And it's a whole bed of basil. So lots to do there. A barrow full of goodness. 3 trays of potatoes, courgettes, cucumbers, tomatoes. I'm bringing in my beautiful butterfly plants because I don't want them to have any chance of frost. And a stack of basil to make some basil oil. Very exciting. I've got 3 trays of squash that we planted out this spring. They are huge, as you can see. I've got dirty fingers. I've been digging up potatoes. Anyway, we're going to have lots of lovely soups over the winter. So these are coming into cool storage now. Right, I'm going to crack on with filling in holes, strengthening up the steps in preparation for some lime render. So it's just a sand and cement mix. Oh, into the holes. Oh my gosh. Cement is so much easier to work with than lime. How funny that I've never really worked with cement. That's the first barrow load done. Got 1 and a bit steps and patched up the retaining wall bit here where there were a few stony holes. So yeah, I think it's going to look great with the stone floor. So I'll finish that off today. Just rendered the front and filled in the holes of the steps. Another step to create, and then we'll have that section concreted and completed. Several steps in putting the rafters on, and the first one is to get the piece on, the measuring block, spacer at the top, and then drilled in. Then we need to mark off where the bird's mouth should be, which is here. Then we cut that out, and we also mark off the sections where the purlins are, where we might need to cut notches out or put packing in as we go along and progress along the roof. So we'll then take this off, cut out the sections that we need, and then we put it back on again. So up and down the ladder a lot. What do you think to that, Simon? Do you like that?
Yeah.
So make a number of saw marks to get a little wedge out to the right depth, and this secures the rafter onto the purlins. as well. And on an old roof there's a little bit of give and take, so we need to be prepared to either pack out or cut out just small sections. So Simon's just chiseling away that piece. That's probably as deep as they go, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's quite the deepest
quite a deep one. I don't want to go any deeper than this.
No.
But it's where it sits on the purlin. So it's not really taking strength out of the rafter because that's sat on the purlin there. And your span, actually, your rafter is only about 3.5 to 4 foot. It's not much of a span and it's not holding much weight. It's only slate roof.
It actually sits on the purlin quite
putting
nicely.
red tiles on, we'd have to have bigger rafters.
Yeah. Okay, so the notches at the top 2 purlins are now done, and then we're just going to slide that into position. There's also the bird's mouth there that you can just see, and that should just lock it into there. And the spacer just gives it a nice sturdy fixing.
That's it.
And then Simon just needs to screw them into position. Out and Simon is back on the roof. We've been doing some pointing on that gable end, and we know that the flashing boards on the gable end need to be replaced on the side of the house. These chunks of wood that you can see, the larger chunks, they are just steps for Simon to get up onto the roof. And the white sheet at the top, that's the waterproof. So he's currently taking off the OSB board and replacing with this pine board. What do you think, Bert? Do you like the roof? There's lots of noise, isn't there? So you can see the OSB boards on the right hand side, the pine boards on the left. They're knotty pine, but they will have a waterproof membrane over the top, and then the slates on there. Hi, welcome to Notes from Luscious Sang. As you can see, it's a fantastic day. It's sunny, it's autumn, and the leaves are all turning, they're falling off the trees. I'm just looking out here over our woodland, which eventually we'll put into some kind of garden, but it's so exciting. We've got so many projects for you to see. I want to show you the barn and what Simon's been doing, and also a little project that I'm working on in the lounge. So yeah, lots going on over the next few weeks, and we will be documenting and providing videos for you to see what's happening. It's been really busy in terms of work and the software engineering that Simon does and project management that I've been working on. So lots going on there. We went back to the UK to see family and friends. It was our son's 21st. We had a great time, had a real blast. It was fantastic, and saw loads of family and friends. So it was really nice. And then when we got back, Simon and I got a cold and it was really bad. I don't think it was COVID, but we were really poorly for a few weeks, 3 weeks in fact. So everything slowed down, but we have been moving along. So I want to catch you all up on the progress and get back to videos. So lots of work on the barn. It's completely covered now with a damp-proof membrane. That is a temporary cover just so that we can keep the rain out and keep it dry over the winter. We are still working on it. The rafters are on there. We can roll up the damp-proof membrane and put on all of the purlins and rafters as we go, and then we hope to start with some slating as well. So it's happening, but very slowly, and we just have to wait for a nice bit of blue skies and good weather to get on there. So you can see that now is a great time. It would be a great time, except that now we've got loads of project work on our software engineering side of the business. So we're just trying to manage everything. You know, you can't get everything all at once, so we're just taking our time. I think the pointing looks great, where you can see the house there just at the gable end. Really pleased with how that's turned out. So yeah, lots of positives. So I'll walk you around past the old tumbly down bits, which are still old and tumbling down. This is the bread oven. And then I've got my little compost bins here and the driveway, which is greened up really nicely. There's the mighty Fiat. And you can see here the water trough and the pump. So Catherine and Kevin, Simon's sister, came out and her husband, and we cleared all of this, and now we can see the neighbouring house, which actually sits nestling in our garden, which is quite strange. But we've gained all of this garden. Oh, you can just hear gunshots and the hounds. It's the hunting season out here, so the chasse is on form. So we've cleared loads here and gained a huge space. Yeah, Catherine and Kevin worked really hard. So we can't believe how much light is in the garden, and we want to thicken up this whole hedge, so I've planted more holly all the way around and get that to a reasonable size. And that's revealed this little house nestling in our back garden. Lots of composting and wood to process over here. And piles of the holly and the hazel that came down. But what we've been able to do is to chop off all the branches and then process it with a chipping machine into this pile here, which is amazing. So that goes down to nothing, and that will compost. Oh, you can really hear the hounds now. So this is the back, and that's been now covered, so that's a little bit more waterproof. We've just got to put that section back over the top. And then we have Simon's temporary door, which I think is fantastic. So we're pretty much dry, and we will be able to keep working on the roof, getting rafters and purlins on. So that's a bit of an update on the barn. So here's the inside of the barn. You can see where Simon's put the shiplap on there, and that's now sealed. And now, even though there are holes in the roof, it's fully covered, which is really good. And that brings loads of light, which is quite nice actually, but will stop the rain coming in. You can see here two types of board. I've probably shown you this before, but we're not keen on either, so we're going to go with the original tiled version, which I think looks great, and we're going to light that all up with loads of lighting that we've bought, all LED lighting. So that's the plan at the moment. I'm working on, you can see these panels here, these MDF boards. We're working on a piece of furniture for our lounge, which is going to be a bookcase and radiator cover. And I'm being a bit brave with colour, so I'm going for this lovely sea green colour, which I love. And I first of all painted the boards with an undercoat primer, and now I'm putting the first coats on. Then Simon will do the cutting list, and we will cut all of that into the right shape that we need. And then we'll piece it together and I'll give it a couple more coats. We can't wait to show you the lounge. After loads of discussion, we were going to have a wooden floor in there, and we love the idea of the wooden floor, but I think that we'd like to see how it looks with rugs and with all of the woodwork finished and the walls finished and the curtains up before we make that final decision. I just feel that there's something very satisfying about putting paint onto a white surface and completely transforming it into a different colour. Literally, I'm showing you watching paint and then watching paint dry. But I feel that as a vlogger, this is one of the integral parts of what you need to see. I'm sure you've all painted something before, but anyhow.
So we've been building a bookcase and radiator cover for the lounge. We've got this kind of slightly dead area at the back, which is under the stairs and behind this beam. So yeah, you can't really put any furniture as such in there. And for a long time we've had a chest of drawers in the corner with the TV on it, but we always wanted to do something a bit more finished. So we've just built this mostly MDF and then tongue and groove, just pine tongue and groove back. And then I've made all the beads, just plain them down to about 3mm thick to cover the edges because they never paints properly the edge on MDF. Just made some little detail cutouts at the bottom. And then to finish the top, we're going to use this oak that we've got here. So we're going to make an oak top for it with a cutout grill to go over the radiator so all the heat can come out into the room. Yeah, it's pretty pleased with how it's come together, really.